Hello guys, welcome back to the Voltman channel. In this video, we will be talking about the air purification the Tata motor has. As you see in the brochure, it says even the Smart Plus has the smart air purifier. I'll show you where is it exactly and how it works. And also, I also have a PM2.5 sensor to show you how the air purification exactly works. This is a DIY setup. I made it with microcontroller and other stuff. If you want to know more about this, you let me know. I'll put a dedicated video on this. Okay, cool. So my device shows PM2.5, CO2 and other humidity as well. Okay, for now we'll be looking into the PM2.5 alone. As I'm in Chennai right now, and the PM2.5 outside is already good, so it's under 22. In winters, it goes beyond 100, 150. Right now, it's very good, but still, I'll show you how significant results when I turn on the air purification and how the purification works and how it goes below 10. Okay, and also I'll show you what how can you do the AC maintenance for the new Tata Punch.ev. So I also show you that. I also have a temperature sensor to show you the exact temperature in the cabin and how AC cooling performance and how is it happening, how many kilowatts the AC is consuming, other stuff. Okay, all right, without wasting any time, let's get back to the video. So the Tata Punch EV has a HEPA filter for a traditional AC filter. Normally, normally AC has a filter, right? Filtering system that filters AC, and for that they have given a HEPA filter, so it acts as a air purification. So it sucks all of the PM2.5 particles and PM10 particles, and that's how your cabin is purified. So I'll show you exactly where it is located. For that, you may need a star screwdriver, like a big one. Okay, so that's the driver door, and if you go here in the bottom, so that's the AC filter. That's where the AC filter is located. So what I'll do is I'll start unscrew. I'll take that later. Okay, the one. If you found this video helpful, guys, please hit subscribe. I see 90% who's watching my videos are not subscribing. Please do subscribe. It will help me encourage adding more videos like this. Okay, so once the screw is removed, you can remove this cover like that, keep it aside, and you have the filter here. Okay, let me focus. And this is the HEPA filter, guys. As you see, the traditional ice punch does not have this. Only the electric vehicle of Punch have this HEPA filter. As you can see, it's been just 40 days I'm driving the car and it has become dirty. I will air blow it to clean this. Okay, for cleaning this I have a mini violent jet fan, like a blower fan. I can blow this thing up. Let me correct the orientation of the blower. All right, here we go. Okay, that's done. This is quite handy, guys. Let me know if you need a full video on all of the accessories that I use for Tata Punch.ev. Okay, let me know in the comment section. And this is clean. We'll put it back to its place. And this is what it's filtering your air, guys. This is a HEPA filter. This is the same filter that you will be seeing on your air purifier. And this detects all of the tiny particles and captures it and does not let it go inside your cabin. So this is what the HEPA filter, this is what the air purification is. Now I'll be getting inside the car and turning on the AC, and I'll show you how the purification works, and I'll show you how the PM2.5 reduce from 25 to below 10, and I'll show you how things works. Okay, let's also clean the coil. As you see, the coil is pretty good, in pretty good shape. I'll just do some blower and blow things up. Okay, that is done. Now we'll put it back into its place. While putting back, make sure the orientation is correct. Okay, the foam layer is in the bottom, and if the QR code is up, in my case the QR code is in the top, and also you have a dot which indicates that it's on the top, and in bottom you won't have it. Okay, just take this back, just easily slot in. Okay, and slowly push. It slides easily back in. Now take the cover, place it on the same orientation, and put back these screws into its location. That's tight. And that's done. That's it, guys. That's how you also maintain your car AC and also your HEPA filter. So it's car AC come HEPA filter, so it's both air purifier and your car filter. So now let's turn on the vehicle and check the PM2.5 particles. All my windows are down to show you the PM2.5 outside. It's 15, guys, so I don't think so I'll be able to show you many difference, because I'm in a place where the air quality is already good, but still I'll show you how the purification works. I'll close all the windows and turn on the AC. Set it to, normally I set it to 3 fan speed with 24 degrees. The temperature here is 37 inside the cabin. The ambient temperature outside is, oh, what is it? 36 degrees. Immediately when I turned on the AC, I don't know if it starts blowing some dust or what, it came back to 20. Let's see. Time is 12:22 p.m. Let's see. Many people were also asking how I connect the OBD data into the infotainment app. This supports Android Auto and Apple CarPlay wireless, so I connect it like that. And I have a car scanner app in my phone that I can use it via Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. So I go to the dashboard and select anything from the list, so I get these parameters. So as you can see, the car is off. AC is on. Currently the AC is consuming 1.15 kilowatt to cool down the temperature really quick, and the PM2.5 levels is 11. It came down to 11. The CO2 is slightly rising. So this is a really good industry-based sensor, guys. This sensor belongs to Sensorion, and this was used in very large industry. So I got this sensor and I made it DIY, and it's pretty accurate. Nothing in the market. I made it around 5,000 or 4,500, and it also charges via Type C. It supports the latest PD chargings, and it also has a CO2 sensor, so it also detects the CO2 inside the cabin. So if you let me give you a quick tip. So normally if you travel solo for 3 hours, it's fine, your CO2 level reaches 1000. But if you travel with 5 people in a small cabin like this, your CO2 level will rise immediately up for 2000 and 3000. And when that happen, definitely all of them inside the car will start feeling sleepy. Because of high CO2 levels, the brain gets the signal and makes you sleep. And if you're trying to go on a long trip with 5 people, make sure you turn off the air circulation, and so that the fresh air comes in and the CO2 gets out. So when you turn it on, automatically the blower speed gets reduced. Make sure you increase the little bit speed. And yeah, that way you can also focus on your health, because you don't want to end up sitting on a high CO2 level for a pretty long time. You will get headache and you will also feel dizzy while driving. Okay, I will put it back to 3, and the kilowatt for cooling this cabin right now in initial phase is consuming 1.3 kilowatts. And I think I feel little vibration on here. I think the radiator is turned on. Little bit of slight vibration I can feel from the fan which is running on the hood. So PM2.5 update, guys, it has brought down to 6. That is amazing. It was 15 to 20 earlier and it brought down to 6. And the temperature, it is bringing down to 34.8 degrees, 36 degrees outside. And let's see how much time does it takes to bring down to 24 degrees. So the time is 12:30 p.m. guys, and the kilowatt consuming now is 1 kilowatt for cooling, and the temperature inside the cabin is 32 degrees. The temperature set is 24 degrees. It's still taking some time to catch up. And the PM2.5 update for the air purifier is 3. So it has brought down the PM particles to 3, and it's very good. And yeah, let's wait for the temperature to reach 24 degrees. Okay, so the time is 12:40 p.m. and the temperature inside the cabin is 27.5 degrees. And the PM2.5 update, guys, it's brought down the PM2.5 to 2. And look at the CO2 level, guys. When I was recording the video, the CO2 level inside the car was 450. Now it has reached to 800. That's the carbon dioxide level that I am exhaling outside. And if it goes 800 is fresh. If it goes beyond 900, 1000, it's stuffy. And if it goes beyond 1200, it's more stuffy, and it's very bad for your health. And yeah, let's wait for the temperature for the next 20 minutes. One thing, do you notice, I started this test and the battery was at 88%. Still it's in 88%, but strangely the AEC was jumping. So it was around 124, I guess, and it went into 135 without moving the car. The AEC keeps jumping. And the actual SOC is 88.4%. It dropped down the kilowatt. It was consuming 1.3, right now it's consuming 0.8 kilowatts for cooling the cabin, and it has cooled till 27 degrees. So this is a tiny cool gadget from Xiaomi. I got it outside. Let me know if you want all of my accessory list to have a dedicated video to show all the accessories that I have. So let's wait for 10 more minutes, and I'll keep you posted on the status of the temperature which is inside the car. Alright, the time is 12:50 p.m. guys, and the SOC dropped 1%. As you can see, it came to 87, and AEC went up to 140, and the kilowatt consuming is 0.84 for now, 0.8 and 0.84. And the ambient temperature inside the cabin has dropped down to 25 degrees. That's superb. And the PM2.5 update, guys, wonderful. It was 1 and it's 2 now. Anyway, so 2, as you can see, the CO2 level, guys, it has spiked up to 1000, and it's just been like 20-30 minutes, and look at the CO2 levels. This is really bad for you. And after this video, we'll also turn off the air circulation and see if the CO2 level drops, and it's going to be healthy on your health. Let's check back in next 10 minutes to see if the temperature reaches to 24.0 degrees. Currently it's 24.9. Let's see if it matches to the exact temperature of what we have set so far. For 40 minutes 1350 is really bad. So now I will turn off the air circulation and let's come back after 10 minutes to see if the CO2 is dropping or not. Okay guys, it's been 10 minutes. The time is 1:10 p.m. and it has brought down the CO2 levels to 1100. It was 1350, but you notice the PM2.5 also spiked to 14. So it means that when you turn off the circulation, the good air comes in, but that air is not filtered to the air purification, directly comes inside. So if that happens, automatically the PM2.5 also is spiked. So I was thinking that the fresh air which is coming in, it also goes through the filter and comes inside the cabin, so that the PM2.5 remains the same, but it's not the case. If you turn off the air circulation, the outside bad air will also come in and it will also increase your PM particles. But what was strange is, despite of after turning it on, after turning off the air circulation, the AC went to 1.8 kilowatts, 1.8 kilowatts, and the fan got reduced. Like the AC performance got reduced, so I had to make the blower work as 4-speed to make it feel like 2-speed. And the radiator fan started working pretty loud and had feeling some vibrations inside the cabin. So overall test for the CO2, it works if you turn off the air circulation, but if you turn off the air circulation, it also brings all of the PM particles inside, so your air purification won't work. Good to know the temperature is still remaining at 24 degrees, but the cooling, I feel that is little bit reduced. You can increase the blower in order to maintain the same temperature. If you ask me guys, I don't think this is worth I'm not sure. You can do it on like cold temperature, because or else the easiest jugaad is to open your car window diagonally. Just open this and open that window and open this window diagonally, and go for like around 3 minutes. Automatically the CO2 will be flushed out, and you can put your roll your windows up so you can flush out the CO2 like that. Because I was okay with the CO2 levels and PM2.5 level, but what it is happening is it's consuming more kilowatt than usual. In AC mode, it was not consuming that much kilowatt. It's consuming 1 kilowatt extra from what it was consuming earlier. So let me turn on the air circulation back to see if that reduces the AC kilowatt consumption. So after turning off the air circulation, the AC dropped from 1.8 to 0.24 kilowatt. I don't know if it's an issue because it is just an air circulation. I don't know why it's putting heavy load on the AC system. I just felt a vibration that it started the cooling again. I did a cutoff and now it's 0.87. So that's the average kilowatt consumption for cooling, guys. So I hope you found good information on this video, and if you found this helpful, hit subscribe button guys, because it takes a lot of effort to create a video like this. Please do subscribe and follow for more updates. As I said, 90% who's watching my videos are not subscribing. Please hit subscribe. It's just a one click which will help me post more videos like this, and it will encourage me a lot. So alright, see you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching.